It is time to grab your juice box of High Ecto Cooler, pour you a bowl of Ghostbusters cereal, because today we're taking you all the way back to the 80s as we take a look at Ghosts Are Us, the very first ever episode in the Real Ghostbusters. Speaking of that, can we play the episode? Can you just like hit play on the machine? Because I want to watch that intro. Oh man, the emotional childhood feelings when I see this hit my TV screen. All four Ghostbusters in their colorful outfits, Janine Melnitz, Slimer, the freaking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't think it's any secret that this was the best 30 minutes on television in the 80s. We got this beautiful shot of New York City. Of course, here is the Ecto one. I guess it's the Ect one. 10 seconds in and there's already an error. Okay. The Ghostbusters arrive at a chocolate factory where it actually begins to rain chocolate after an explosion. Slimer, who is of course now a member of the Real Ghostbusters, kind of as their mascot lackey, cements himself as a glutton pretty early on, eating all that flying chocolate. Can I also mention that I love the noise that it makes when Slimer eats those chocolates? As they make their way into the building, Ray takes the lead only to get a face full of chocolate from the three lead baddies in this episode: Slug, Snarg, and Zunk. Speaking of chocolate to the face, Winston sees a similar fate.
I don't think they're taking us seriously.
Wait a minute, Peter. That's an unlicensed nuclear accelerator. Pretty sure because of your recklessness, they won't be able to make chocolate there for another 10 to 15 years. Ha! Look at his face. I love Winston. Now, of course, the Ghostbusters are victorious, and they're rewarded with what else but chocolate. More importantly, a year's supply of chocolate.
Oh, yeah, how sweet it is.
I love Winston. Again.
We brought you a little surprise.
Guys, how sweet. You're right. I am surprised.
Wait a minute, the Ghostbusters are going to give Janine an entire year's worth of chocolate?
Slimer!
Whoa, wait a minute. Slimer ate an entire year's worth of chocolate in one evening? I mean, the Ghostbusters shouldn't even be mad. They should be impressed. Oh, and we get our first sliming of the animated series.
Yuck! I've been slimed!
Yuck.
Ray dumps the trap into the containment unit, and after an attempt at a midnight snack, Slimer is, well, Slimer. It's the first episode into the series, and it's already pretty obvious that Slimer should have been busted just before it even began. Of course, the trio escapes, and wait a minute.
I'm coming, Pop! I told you to put him on a diet!
Pops? They're a family? Either these three ghosts have a horrific backstory, or that thing is what happens when two ghosts reproduce in the afterlife. Ugh. Oh, this can't end well.
You fool!
Whoops.
Told ya.
Now, say ah.
Aww.
No, stop right there. What is wrong with that guy's face? So the three ghosts decide to found their own Ghostbusters crew called What Else Ghosts Are Us, to discredit and put the Ghostbusters out of business. Wait a minute. How can the Ghostbusters not recognize these three ghosts? Come on, like Egon, you're supposed to be the smart one here. Recognize them.
You know, there's something very familiar about those guys.
Familiar? You don't say. Janine calls them up and tells them that three ghosts are currently missing out of the containment unit. They connect the dots and instantly blame Slimer. Once again, bust Slimer. Eliminate him. The three ghosts go to an old toy factory to resurrect a Class 7 ghost named Turlock. Instead, they find a Class 10 ghost that's bent on destruction. He even uses old creepy toy parts as a body. And yes, I said Class 10. Look what it does to Egon's PKE meter.
Full magnitude, Class 10.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, how is that even possible?
Launch!
The debut of the Ecto 2. Get excited.
Hey, Egon, ever gotten around to taking those flying lessons?
No.
Now this time around, the Ghostbusters easily defeat and capture Slug, Snark, and Zunk.
Ecto 2 and Ecto 1. We're gonna require some assistance. This is bigger than anything we've ever encountered.
I mean, I guess. Stay Puft may argue with you, but okay.
Aim for the monkey.
Slimer winds up sliming up the railing with his butt, and that causes the ghost to fall off the bridge. Because that makes everything better, right? I mean, that makes Slimer part of the team again. Once again, this certifies that they should not bust him. Bust him. Egon sets the Ecto 2 to self-destruct mode, and it causes a potential full protonic reversal. And just like that, the bad guy is gone, and the Ghostbusters save the day. Maybe somebody paid them money this time, rather than chocolate. Now, Ghosts R Us is an enjoyable episode, there's no doubt about that. But it's very much a checkmark-based episode. This is to set up the main characters and their roles. Egon the Brains, Peter being sarcastic, Winston being the everyman, and Ray being the excitable one. But when you look at the grand scheme of things when it comes to the Real Ghostbusters cartoon series, Ghosts R Us is pretty much mid-range. The show is going to get much, much better as it goes on, and it's also going to get much, much worse.
Toys! Yeah!
Bust him!